Swamin Namaste Natalokabandho Karunya Sindho Patitam Bhavabdho Mamuddharatmiya Kataksha Drishtya Rijvyati Karunya Sudhabhivristya Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Yat Kirtanam Yat Smaranam Yadikshanam Yad Vandanam Yat Shravanam Yadarhanam Lokasya Sadyo Vidhunoti Kalmasham Tasmai Subhadrashravase Namo Namaha Vichakshanaya Charanopasadanat Sangam Yudasyo Bhayatontaratmanah Vindantihi Brahmagatim Gataklamaha Tasmai Subhadrashravase Namo Namaha Tasmai Subhadrashravase Namo Namaha Tasmai Subhadrashravase Namo Namaha. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. Yes, we are again at the place where King Nimi is asking questions to the Navayogis. How can one be liberated? And we have been doing this part for a long time, as Namrata was announcing. She said 4.5 months. I am surprised. So, we were at this word, Tadarthe Akhila Cheshtitam. That is, all our work we should offer or dedicate to the Supreme. That is, we do work not thinking that I am doing or I am doing for somebody else's sake, my family, or maybe my office or organization. No. Every work we are doing actually as an offering. And that also we saw that using our mind and intelligence, when we start introspecting and we understand that everything emerges from that Supreme, we are created by the Supreme sustains us, and the dissolution also is by the Supreme. This body, which is created by the Supreme, you can call it God, you can call it anything. This body, along with all the limbs, the senses, the organs, the mind, intelligence, everything, the capability to work, the capability to think, everything is from that source. That source alone is. And it pervades everywhere, in everything, every time. So, we have to just remember this. And how will we remember? Repeatedly thinking about it, understanding it, and while thinking, while speaking, while taking up any activity, while in interaction, on and off, we must remember it. And live that remembrance. Whatever we are remembering, the truth, that is the truth, we should live that truth. We may be forgetting, but again we must remind ourselves that I am God's and God is mine. I belong to God, I am part of God. Nothing belongs to me. I cannot control anything. Only this thought. So, last session, we went to a Bhagavad Gita shloka where this word mat karma krit is there. Tadarthe akhila cheshtitam. That is, for His sake, for the sake of the Supreme Lord, or for the sake of God, we must do all our work. offer all our work, dedicate all our work. And in this shloka also, Bhagavad Gita 11.55, the word mat karma krit has come. That is, Krishna is telling Arjuna, "O Arjuna, be a mat karma krit. Do all the work that you have taken up for my sake." And who is this my? He is the Supreme. Here it is Krishna who is telling. Krishna is one with that Supreme Consciousness, one with that Supreme Power. He is that. So he says, mat karma krit, be a mat karma krit. Do all work for my sake. And then he says, how can one become a mat karma krit? When will one become mat karma krit? That is, when we'll do work for the sake of God. We do work for the sake of the world, sake of the family, sake of our organizations where we are working. Some do work for the country, all for the sake of something which is in the objective world. Here it is, do work for my sake, God is saying. Why are we doing work for the sake of the objective world? Because we consider that to be the supreme. When we have to do work for the sake of God, God must become supreme in our intelligence. In our perception, God should be the supreme. We should consider God to be the supreme. So, if one has to become a mat karma krit, automatically one has to become a mat paramaha, one who considers God to be the supreme, not anything else. He may be in the world, he may be in the family, he may be doing a lot of work, but he knows God is the supreme. All these perishables are not supreme in his idea. The imperishable God is supreme for him. And he knows it as a truth. When he knows it as a truth, he tries to live like that. So, when he considers God to be the supreme, he becomes whose devotee? Mad bhaktaha. He becomes a devotee of God. He doesn't anymore remain a devotee of the world, devotee of the family, devoted to the organization, children, family, wealth, possessions and all that. He is no more devoted to all that. He may be looking after that. As a duty he must be doing. As a responsible person, he has to bring up his children, he has to look after his wife and family, maybe parents, and do whatever work in the profession. As a duty, as a responsibility, he will do everything. But he becomes mat bhaktaha. Bhakta, devotee of me, the Supreme. So Krishna is telling these words one by one. And when one becomes a mad bhakta, when one becomes a devotee, not of the world, not of the perishables, but of the imperishable, then he becomes sangavajjitaha. Sangavajjitaha. So one is devoted to the Supreme or God alone, and not devoted to anything in this world, overshadowing the feeling that I am the husband, I am the wife, I am the father, I am an employee, I am a doctor. Overshadowing these feelings, he then starts thinking, I am a devotee, I am a seeker. The first identity which comes to the mind is not I am a man, woman, daughter, son, wife, husband, nothing else. The first identity he feels, I am a devotee. The first identity is that, and then he does everything else. And when he thinks like this, mad bhaktaha, he becomes a mad bhaktaha, that is devotee of the Supreme. He gets flooded by unconditional love. Because when he becomes a devotee of God, he doesn't want anything. He just wants to become a devotee. He comes away from his devotion for the world, which is perishable. He understands that from that perishable world, no permanent happiness is to be had. So his devotion starts growing for God, and slowly he is overwhelmed by unconditional love for God. that devotee starts experiencing God everywhere, in everything, at every time. He experiences God within himself, without himself, everywhere. Everywhere. Now, after that what happens? If he is a Madbhaktaha, what happens for that Madbhaktaha? He becomes Sangavarjitaha. He gains a quality. What is that quality? Sangavarjitaha. What is Sangha? What is Sangha? Sangha is clinging, possessiveness, attachment. And that is what we always suffer from. All of us in this world, our suffering is because of this attachment. We get attached to the body, we get attached to all that this body feels is mine. This belongs to me, that belongs to me. So the mindness which develops to various things, not only objects, not only people, not only places, not only wealth, to even thoughts, ideas, plans, what we have in our mind. Not only outside, inside also, we get attached. That is why when we start doing work, 2-3 people together, what I think is the best way, that is the way it should be done. And there is lot of disturbances if there are 2-3 people. We hold on to our ideas, hold on to our ways. So, Sangavarjitaha, when one becomes Madbhaktaha, the quality that he attains is Sangavarjitaha. The clinging and attachment goes away. Who will get attached to whom? Everything is God. He finds God everywhere, in everything, at every time. Only when there are two, there can be attachment, there can be clinging, there can be expectations, there can be desire, there can be possessiveness. But when everything is God, he finds God everywhere. Then who will become attached to whom? So he becomes Sangavarjitaha. So he becomes Nirmamaha, no mamata, no I-ness, and mindness, Nirahankaraha, no, that I-ness is not there. And as long as Sangha is there, then God cannot be supreme. We can think like that also. God is supreme. That Matkarmakrit considers God to be supreme. But if there is Sangha to something else, then God does not remain supreme for that person. That is, if you are attached to something other than God, then God is not supreme for you. So for this Madbhaktaha, he gets this quality of Sangavarjitaha, that is without any delusional clinging. Sangavarjitaha means without. Sangha is attachment or delusional clinging. He does not have it anymore. All that goes away. And one finds himself free, unburdened. My dear children, just think, only because of this attachment and clinging to various things, whether gross or subtle, we suffer a lot. We suffer a lot. We are not able to let go. We are not able to think that nothing belongs to me. We feel that everything belongs and I must hold on to them. So we suffer. As soon as one becomes a Matkarmakrit in the true sense, that is doing all the work as an instrument for the sake of God, for the pleasure of God, thinking that I am God's and God is mine, there is nothing else. He becomes a one who considers God to be the supreme. He becomes one who becomes a true devotee of God. That is, supreme is Matparamaha. He becomes that devotee who is a true devotee of God, Madbhaktaha, and automatically he becomes Sangavarjitaha, devoid of all kinds of delusional clinging. And when the delusional clinging goes away, what happens? Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu. He becomes absolutely without any enmity, dislike, hatred for anything in this world. He finds God and God everywhere. Who will hate whom? Only God is there. He finds sameness everywhere. And he is fond of God. He loves God. So even if there is a person who is scolding him, is rude to him, is harsh, has treated him badly, exploited him, maybe in the outer situation, there is that difference. But he cannot become bitter with that person. Internally, he will not feel affected at all. He will not have dislike for the person. Maybe whatever has to be done, he will do that. He will take steps maybe. But internally, bitterness cannot come. Hatred cannot come. Dislike cannot come. So he becomes Nirvaira Sarvabhuteshu. Why? For him the whole world is a display of God. Everything is its part. Everything is a part of God. So one cannot have any bheda bhava, any differential outlook is not there. One cannot say, I like this thing and I do not like this thing. One cannot say, I like him and I dislike him, the other one. Bheda bhava is not there because everything is same. And when a devotee thinks that I am the part of God, he develops one-pointed love and devotion for God. One-pointed. Because his love is not scattered away. It doesn't spread out into other things. Fully, wholesomely, his love and devotion is for God and God alone. And that love and devotion removes all attachment, all clingings from his mind. When such godliness is experienced, my dear children, the devotee does not hate anybody. Even if ill-treated, he will not be able to hate. He finds God everywhere, in everything. He considers everything as God's will. Even evil and wrong tendencies in others, he attributes to God's will. This is what I was saying. That even if somebody behaves in a rude manner, harsh manner, in a very wrong manner, that person tendencies also he feels it is God's will. Whatever action has to be taken in the face of that kind of a behavior from other has to be taken, but not with hatred, not with cruelty, not with unkindness, not with dislike. One cannot have dislike for anybody. So, whatever comes in the life of such a person, mat karma krit, he takes everything as the blessing of God. Blessing of God. And in this, I told you the story of Parikshit. Last time also I told you that the curse by the Muniputra, the son of the Muni, Shamika Maharshi, who cursed Parikshit, King Parikshit, that on the seventh day, King Parikshit will die by the bite of a snake. Just see what kind of a curse it was, taking the life of the king. King was a noble king. But it opened the eyes of the king, and he said, I consider this curse as a blessing because it has helped me to understand my devotion was not wholesome. It was not one-pointed. I was not a true bhakta. Now I will completely spend my time so that my mind becomes focused on God and God alone, understanding He is everywhere. So, this sloka we did. And the next sloka in this King Nimi and Navayogi, now we'll go to the next sloka, which is the 28th sloka, It tells us about tadarthe akhila cheshtitam, that is, we have to do all the work, offering it or dedicating it to the Lord, to the Supreme. Now here, typical and specific actions the yogi is mentioning. Ishtam dattam tapo japtam vrittam yachatmanah priyam daran sutan grihan pranan yat parasmai nivedanam. See, ishtam dattam tapo japtam vrittam yachatmanah priyam daran sutan grihan pranan yat parasmai nivedanam. That is, everything you must offer to the Supreme. Yat parasmai nivedanam. The previous sloka said, tadarthe akila cheshtitam. Whatever activities you take up, all should be offered. And here it is saying, whatever you do, including your household, your house people, your family, everything should be offered to God. So, yat parasmai nivedanam, he should offer all that is his to the Supreme Lord. Whatever we consider as mine, my belonging, this belongs to me, I have done this, all these should be offered to God. Offered to God means what? Again I will come to that. What does offering mean? To understand that He alone is the source. He has created everything. Not only our body and limbs and senses and mind, intelligence, all our emotions, our feelings, our ideas, our fears, our anxieties, our lamentations, our repentations, our desires, our expectations, our satisfactions, fulfillment, everything, there is nothing other than God. Actually speaking, my dear children, if you really get into this thought, we are hearing it again and again, number of times. Even if we have not heard it in this detail through the scriptures, from childhood we know that God is all pervading. But what does that mean? Do we ever go into it? Do we ever think? But if you really think, oh my goodness, so there is nothing that He is not. What a surprise! What a wonder! What an amazement! Just think. And what is being said? Yat parasmai nivedanam. So whatever you do, offer Him. Actually everything is offered. He is giving us, and we are as an instrument doing everything and feeling that I am offering you. Unless He had given, could we have offered anything? He is giving, so we are able to offer. He has given us this body with its limbs and senses and prana. He has entered our being and enlivened us so that we can do some work. He has given us mind and intelligence to plan and execute. And with all that, whatever He has given us, we are trying to do some work and thinking foolishly that I am doing. You know, in Bengali there is a song, Shakoli tomar ichha moi tara tumi, tomar karma tumi karo ma, loke bole kori ami. My voice is very bad, otherwise I would have sung. Shakoli tomar ichha moi tara tumi. Oh Mother, you are ichhamai. You are the one who wills. All the will, it is actually willed by you, O Mother. O Divine Mother. Everything is your will alone. Tomar karma tumi karoma. The work, all the activities that goes on in this universe is all done by you. Your work. You are only doing. Loke bole koryami. But mankind thinks that he is doing. He is doing. Ami jantro, tumi jantri, আমি ঘর তুমি ঘরণী, আমি রথ তুমি রথী, যেমন চালাও তেমনি চলি. That is the knowledge. What it is? I am the instrument and you are the one who is working that instrument. আমি ঘর তুমি ঘরণী. If I am the house, you are the master. আমি রথ তুমি রথী. I am the chariot and you are the charioteer. যেমন চালাও তেমনি চলি. By your wish, in whichever manner you want to take my charioteer ahead, actually I go like that, on that path alone. But I don't understand. I feel I am doing. Everything I feel I am doing. So, yat parasmai nivedanam. What are the things he has specified here? Ishtam. What is Ishtam? Whatever worship one performs. Whichever worship, wherever you are performing. You are doing puja, maybe with a simple flower, a little water, or with various items. Offer everything. Know that God doesn't want anything else. He doesn't want so many things, so much paraphernalia also for his worship. Because he is smiling and thinking, look at these foolish people. Everything I have only given, but they feel they have acquired everything and they are worshipping me with so many items. The number of items is not in question. What we must have is this knowledge, this reminder, and being established in this knowledge that he is the one, the creator who has created. He is the one who sustains. I am his, I am his, I am his part. Nothing belongs to me. That will give what? Make me become Madbhakta, a devotee. I'll become a devotee. So my puja will be with devotion. The worship has to be done with devotion. In Bhagavatam, it is said, Priyate amalaya bhakta bhaktya hariranyad vidambanam. That is, Hari, Sri Hari, the Supreme Lord, he becomes pleased with amala bhakti. That is, untainted devotion, pure devotion. Anyat vidambanam. Everything else is an ostentation, a show off. Nothing is necessary. So when we are worshipping, we may bring many things because we love to give, we love to bring, acquire and give to God. We may also think that, oh God, I am so blessed that you have been gracious enough that I am able to gather so many items to do your worship. Along with that, my dear children, what we have to think is, oh God, actually all these are not necessary. I am yours. I offer myself. I am already offered to you. This thought should be there when we are doing worship. Dattam. Dattam is charity. Ishtam dattam, charity. So do all that is needed for anybody. Whatever is necessary, as a duty you do, as a responsibility which has been given to you, you have to do. Even those who are not associated and known to you should do for them. Poor people, even animals, birds, to all of them we must do. Give something. If we have, we must give. So charity we must do. And while doing charity also, our thought should be, I am able to do this because you have given me this life, you have given me items to do charity. You should not be feeling that, oh, I am a great giver. Oh, every year I give so many blankets to so many poor people. Or every year I give some charity to such and such organization. No, it's not me who is doing. Shakuli tomar ichha, ichhamai tara tumi. Oh Divine Mother, it is your wish that I am doing. If that is why that Supreme Power wishes that one will be poor, another will be rich. Supreme Power wishes that this person is miserly, another person is wide-hearted. So it is all his Leela, his play, his pattern or his design, how the world is running. So Ishtam Dattam, Tapaha, all the sacrifices, all the penance that we do, it will all remain absolutely without any meaning unless we remember and get fixed in this thought that I am God's and God is mine. Nothing belongs to me. Everything that I am doing is because of His will. Japtam, whatever mantra one chants. See, we may be chanting very well. And we will be knowing so many shlokas. So many people are given to chanting Vishnu Sahasranama every day, Bhagavad Gita 1 or 2 chapters every day, Lalita Sahasranamam every day. It becomes a routine, We'll be chanting and thinking of something else. Okay, the mind is like that only. Mind always thinks. Mind's nature is to think. Thoughts will keep on coming. So, what we should do while chanting? While chanting, we should think that only because you have given me this ability to chant, I am chanting. You have given me an opportunity to chant. I am chanting and I feel blessed. So many people, they may not have opportunity to chant even. Neither they know, even if they know, maybe there are so many other things, other duties or responsibilities which make them get up in the morning and then start their work. No time in their hand. They cry to sit down and do worship or chant. But in that also, if they think, oh God, you have destined my day like this. But whatever other work I am doing, I will think of you. Then also it is his thought. So, japtam, japa, that japa also has to be offered. Offered by what? Oh, I offer my japa. Saying this will not be the offering. Oh, I dedicate my japa. No. The offering is when we think, you alone are. Because of your will, this is happening. That awareness and being fixed in that awareness, never forgetting it, never forgetting it. Initially we may start doing by repetition and remembrance. One day I asked somebody, a lady who had to go from the ashram to the town, did not know the language, but went alone in an auto rickshaw. So when the lady came back, I said that, oh, you went alone. We were a little concerned. The lady said, no, God was with me. I myself was so happy hearing that. What a thought. God was with me. We must think like this. In everything. Not only in good moments, in bad moments also. Not only in success, but in failure also. Not when we are delighted, but when we are depressed also. God is there with me. And is He not? If He is not, then why are we reading all these things from the scriptures? Why are we again and again listening to this same thing which is being told to us that He is everywhere? Yena sarvamidam tatam, by which is pervaded by this whole universe, that is the Supreme. So, ishtam dattam tapah japtam vrittam. Vrittam, what is vrittam? All the pious activities which we perform, all the good conduct, sadachara. That is the sadachara, the good conduct, how you should behave with people, with humility, with love, with a feeling of helpfulness, with a feeling of sacrifice. And the pious activities, that is, good activities, noble deeds that we do for others or for the society, everything that is vrittam, all that should be offered with the same thought, same introspection, not thought. Thought is the wrong word, wrong. Introspection. With intelligence we must think. Along with the intelligence we must think. Only thinking will be repeating like a parrot. That I have offered, I have offered, I have offered. And mostly we do that. No. With the help of intelligence, get established in that knowledge, established in the truth. Then it becomes an offering. Then, yaccha atmanaha priyam daran sutan grihan pranan. And then comes the next line. Earlier, what was it? It was ishtam dattam tapo japtam vrittam. It is all that one worships, charity, then sacrifices and penance, and then japa, then vrittam is good conduct, pious activities. Now comes yatcha atmanaha priyam daran sutan grihan pranan. That is objects liked by oneself. All the objects that you like. And he has specified these. What? Daran, that is wife, sutan, children, grihan, house, and pranan, your own life. All that you must know, it belongs to him. 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 We may love all these. We love our parents, husbands and wives will love each other. Children, the parents will also love the children. We love our extended family, friends, neighbors, and many acquaintances. We like them, love them. But know that all these are given by God at a particular time. And as He wishes, He takes them away. Either He separates by distance or separates the body. It is His wish. All that happens is wished. So every moment, think that it doesn't belong to us. These are all perishables, and I am considering God to be the supreme. I am His bhakta, and all the people around me or objects around me which I like, it may be dress, it may be house, it may be car, it may be food, anything and everything is given by God, and I should not have any kind of clinging towards them. And how will this non-clinging become quite real? Only when we consider God to be supreme. We find God everywhere. Now, this is what we should do. But what is life like? So, in Bhagavatam, who Prahlada is telling his young classmates. Prahlada is saying, Rayah kalatram pashavo sutadayo grihamahi kunjarakosha bhutayah sarvetha kamaha shanabhangurayushaha kurvanti martasya kiyat priyam chalaha Rayah kalatram pashavo sutadayo grihamahi kunjarakosha bhutayah sarvetha kamaha kshanabhangurayushaha kurvanti martasya kiyat priyam chalaha. Although we are being told that offer everything, not just by saying by lips, understanding that all the near and dear ones and all the possessions that you have, including your body, your mind and intelligence, everything is created by God, belongs to God and not you. Although we know this, we become entangled with our family. We become entangled with our near and dear ones, our possession, our family, not only that, prestige, our name, fame, all these things. So, Prahlada is saying that all these things, Rayaha, wealth, Kalatram, wife or any woman, Pashavaha, cattle, cow, horse, ass, cat, dog, everything. Sutadayaha, children, Griha, house, building, etc. Mahi, land. Kunjara kosha bhutayaha. Kunjara is elephant. Those days, people used to have these. Kosha bhutayaha, and the treasury, that is how much bank balance we have, how much money we have, how much possessions we have, how much property we have. Bhutayaha. What is bhutayaha? That is other material of enjoyments. Not only the money that we have as a bank balance or possessions, many other things that we have from which we get lot of material enjoyment. All those. Sarve arthakamaha. All those are only what? Economic developments, sense gratifications. All these things which we talked just now, wealth, wife, cattle, children, house, land, elephant, treasury, possessions, name, fame, etc., all material enjoyments, they are only giving us some material enjoyments, developments, and sense gratification. Arthakamaha. But all these things, anything material, are perishable. Shanabhangura ayushaha. They are shanabhangura. That anytime they will go away. Anytime. And the short, also man's lifespan is very short. Lifespan is short. In this lifespan, all these things that we consider mine, simply are perishables. Anytime they may not be there. So, with these, what happiness or delight these things will give? These flickering things, the transient things, how much happiness can they give us? Prahlada is asking his classmates that, listen friends, this is what is life. And he also says, Kutumba poshaya viyan nijayuhu na buddhyatertham vihatam pramattaha sarvatra tapatraya dukkhitatma nirvidyatena swakutumba ramaha kutumba poshaya viyan nijayuhu na buddhyatertham vihatam pramattaha sarvatra tapatraya dukkhitatma nirvidyatena swakutumba ramaha. So, all these things that we feel that ours, mine, belongs to us, and we plan so much with that, they are all transitory, all flickering, and instead of yearning to be a Madbhakta, that is, devotee of God, where God is the supreme. Yes, you do everything, household work, whatever duties you have, you do. But consider God to be the supreme and consider yourself as devoted to God wholesomely. Let your devotion to the world reduce and devotion to God increase. Instead of that, how mankind is spending their time? Kutumba poshaya. They are spending their time only in maintaining the family. Kutumba is family, kutumba poshaya, for maintaining the family. And in doing so, viyan nijayuhu. In maintaining the family, the life is spent. The life is declining. Every day the life is declining in maintaining the family. Don't say that, oh then, should we not maintain our family? Definitely you should. Definitely you should, because that is the work God has given you. And what God has told us, that mukta sangas samachara, do everything like a yajna. What is yajna? Doing the work for the sake of others, not getting attached to anything, not cling to the fruit of the action. You do your work very well, samachara, do your work very well, and the result will come, the outcome will come. Don't get particularly desirous of a particular fruit, particular result. If you do the work very well, excellently, with full endeavor, then whatever result comes, accept it. Not clinging to a particular result. He is saying us, he is telling that. That is the way of yajna. So we must live in this household. The household life has been given. Whichever ashrama one is in that ashrama, what is the right thing to do, we must do. But without clinging. Without clinging and knowing that I belong to God. All that has come to me, all that I am getting, good, bad, whatever I like or dislike, everything is given by Him. So kutumba posha, we must maintain the family, and in that the life is declining, no doubt. And in this sloka, what is being said, that in that second line, na nirvidyate sakutumbaramaha. One does not become dispassionate. What is being told? Remove sangha, remove your delusional clinging. Be dispassionate. Dispassionate doesn't mean that you have to go to the forest, become a sannyasin. But do not have this attachment, this clinging. No. Do everything. Remain in the household. Do everything to maintain the family. What you are doing is that you are spending the whole life in maintaining the family, and you are not understanding that your attitude of getting attached to everything in the family or everything in this life is absolutely against the purpose of this life. What is the purpose of this life? To live the life in such a manner that we become liberated. We should live the life without fear, without anxiety, without affectedness. But we are not able to do that. We are living the life becoming more fearful, more anxious, more clinging to everything, becoming more possessive. So our purpose of life is being defeated by the manner in which we are living the life. This is what is being told. The manner in which you are living the life is not correct. You live your life, do everything, but not with attachment, not clingingly. Know that everything belongs to God. And give the whole thing offered to God. Let Him look after His things. Be free, be liberated. While living in this household, be free and liberated. And tell God, everything is yours. Tell me how I should look after. Tell me what I have to do for my family, I will do. But the burden is yours. The burden is not mine. The burden is not mine, because everything belongs to you. We can say like this. We should say like this. We should say like this. That is what the whole of the scriptures constantly, this way, that way, this way, that way, is only trying to teach us this. That be free. Be free. Leave the clinging. Nobody tells us to leave and go and become a sannyasin. Some become sannyasin, that is, they like it. Others, what are they supposed to do? Constantly getting afflicted, becoming affected, constantly anxious. So many people come to us and tell their woes. They are not able to tell their problems to their house people. Many tell that we are not able to tell our parents. Parents will start becoming anxious, or they will start crying. I cannot tell my mother because my mother will cry, so I am telling you. And it is just a change of attitude, a change of attitude, a change of understanding how we should live our life. how the life can become free, absolutely free. So, buddhyatertham vihatam pramattaha. The people are mad with material enjoyments. And says simply do not understand the manner in which they are living their life. It is actually defeating the purpose of life. Where the purpose of life is to become free, they are becoming more and more entangled. Sarvatra tapatraya dukkhitatma. Everywhere you look around, you will find there is dukkha, suffering, tapatraya. You know that? Most of you know there are three kinds of miseries or sufferings. One is adhidaivika, which is by nature, like flood, earthquake, then big cyclones, all those things. And adhibhautika, that is through other creatures, dog bite, snake bite, murders, accidents, and all that. And the third one, nobody can escape. In one's lifetime, people may escape the other two. That is adhidaivika and adhibhautika, people may escape. But adhyatmika, nobody can escape. That is suffering because of one's own mind, one's own tendencies, one's own nature. One may be very angry person, irritable person. One may be a person who reacts to everything. One may be constantly, disliking others or criticizing others, finds fault with others. In the hands of all these nature and tendencies, we suffer. We become anxious, we become jealous, we become critical, and the suffering is ours. So this adhyatmic dukkha. Apart from that, when people are not able to take things with equipoise, then very strong desires and expectations in the mind, and those when they are not fulfilled, people just feel that they have got shattered. So all these dukkhas, tapatraya, three kinds of, trayam is three. Tapa is three kind of scorching heat. All these make us feel agitated, disturbed. So these three kinds of miseries which make us disturbed, agitated. Sarvatra tapatra dukkhitatma. Everywhere this kind of suffering is there. Still, mankind does not grow a little bit of understanding or wisdom, little bit of detachment or dispassion. They remain as what? Swakutumbaramaha. They remain like that. What? Swakutumbaramaha. They become ones who rejoice only in the family. Atma Ramaha. See, there is another word. Atma Ramaha. That is our nature. That is our real identity. Our Swarupa is what? Atma Ramaha. We rejoice in our Atma. We can rejoice in our Atma, which is unaffected. Swasmin sada kridati nandati swayam. You must have heard me chanting these two lines many times. Swasmin sada kridati nandati swayam nirantaranandarasena triptaha. That is Swasmin, inside me. Kridati, sporting. Nandati, rejoicing. Swayam, I myself go inside me, look inside, and inside me I rejoice, I sport in myself. And nirantara anandarasena triptaha. Nirantara means unceasingly. Anandarasa, the rasa, the nectar of delight. I swim in that. I swim in that. I get drenched by that. I get soaked by that. I get showered by that. There is a fountain there. Delight and delight and delight which is coming up, coming out. And I just get into that shower. And what happens? Triptaha. I become contented. When one becomes contented, one doesn't need anything else. Even the most desirable thing, if one sees or one is given, one will say, no, I don't want. More than that, nothing can be attained. Nothing greater is attained. So, triptaha. So, one should be Atma Ramaha. That kind of delight is where? Only inside. Because that is always there. And rest of the things from where we want our delight is transitory, ephemeral, flickering. The delight inside, in our own self, is nirantara, it always there. So why we should become Atma Ramaha. Instead of that, we become what? Swakutumba Ramaha. Ramaha means Rameti. That is, you get your delight in whichever. So, Swakutumba means one's own family. Your family becomes your delighter. Whereas Atma should become your delighter. Swakutumba Ramaha, we remain. So this shloka, in this is also Prahlada is saying, look at it. 7-year-old child, he is telling his classmates. He is telling that this is what the scriptures are constantly telling, our gurus are constantly telling, that there should come an attitudinal difference. You should only want to know how to live this life so that I feel that God is everywhere and I am created by God. Everything is given by God. So I have nothing, no responsibility, no ownership. Everything is God's. So whatever God tells me to do, I am doing. I am not lazy. I will not become lazy. I will do it with all my mind and intelligence. And my whatever strength I have in my body, I will do. But I will be free, liberated. So, this does not happen. Does not happen because man is attached to home and family, strong cord of affection for near and dear ones, enslaved by one's own senses, hankering for wealth. They feel that wealth is everything in life. Intimate talk and loving prattle between husband and wife. And then the lisping talks of the infants, the children, their soft touch, chatting with close friends, all these things, by these, their mind becomes so enveloped, they forget about God. They forget that all these things that he has got in his life can be done, let it be done, remembering what? All these are God's part, God's will, given by God. I am just making use of them and working as an instrument of God for the pleasure of God. Can this not be done? Let the life be led, but with this feeling, this remembrance, this understanding of the truth that everything is coming from God. I am just using them as an instrument, acting as an instrument, and I work for the pleasure of God alone. Tava priyartham. Tava priyartham. But instead of that, what man does is punah punascharvita charvitanam. Adanta govir vishatam tamistram. Punah punascharvita charvitanam. They do what? Their senses are uncontrolled. They allow the senses to go wherever the senses take them. No control over them. No discipline. And whatever sufferings and enjoyments they undergo in life, they keep on doing the same things and undergo the same kind of suffering and enjoyment. Once a little happiness will come, after some time some dukkha will come. Okay, you withstand it. After that some sukha will come. So they just allow the life to go on in this manner. And they do not try to do this, what? Yat parasmai nivedanam. Yat parasmai nivedanam. What is that? To change the outlook, what we have to do? Offer, offer, remember and offer. Think everything belongs to Supreme and given by Him. I myself belong to God. Just like we do not have any attachment to anything seen in dream. We do not consider anything belonging to me in dream. After our dream gets broken, we do not feel that, oh, I have lost this, oh, I had this. Nothing. We don't have any attachment. Even if I have seen myself as a king or a queen with so much of maybe wealth and property, or somebody having lot of qualifications, very big person, whatever we have seen in dream, we don't get attached to that. So, just like we do not have attachment to anything seen in dream, we do not consider anything belonging in dream as belonging to us. Here too, know that nothing belongs. Nothing belongs to us. We should feel blessed actually that whatever God has given, the body that He has given, it may be short, it may be tall, the complexion that one gets, dark or fair, the qualifications that one gets, the family that is one in, then the possessions that one has, the prestige, etc., whatever God gives, we should be feeling blessed that I have got this much. Yadrichha labha santushtaha. Yadrichha labha santushtaha. Whatever has come, I am santushtaha, contented by that. Whatever comes, I accept. Whatever goes. I am santushtaha. And also feel contented, nitya triptaha. Always feel contented. Constantly remind oneself that I am using the objects given by the Supreme. Just now I said, I am using the objects given by the Supreme, including my body, whatever God has given, my intelligence. I may be very sharp, very brilliant, or I may be dull, whatever God has given. I am using it as an instrument, nothing belongs to me. This feeling, if we can have, that is, then will make us become a true offerer. Yat parasmai nivedanam. And we must try for that. My dear children, I always say that it is not difficult. We should not think it is difficult. Oh, it is very difficult. So you don't try doing it. No, try. And whatever we try with our whole heart, I think we succeed. We definitely succeed. Say, a class 1 child, if he sees the textbook of maybe the people who are maybe somebody who is doing a master's course, if a class 1 child sees those books and tries to read it, will he be able to understand anything? Suppose the child says, oh, I don't understand anything. Saying that, should he leave his studies? Or one year after year, he also studies from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. He goes in and ultimately does some higher studies. So effort is necessary. And it is very true that we have not learned to give effort in this direction. We have been taught to give effort in our academic studies. Nobody has told us to give effort to make the mind free, not to cling to anything. Who has told us? Nobody has told us from our childhood. So we don't know. Now when we are hearing this, already so much of bondage has been created. But the bondage can be broken. And for that, we must want a loving heart. Loving for what? Loving to be liberated. Loving to be liberated. Free, words. The word should be uttered with a feeling. What is this liberation? Do we just utter it? What is this freedom? Do we just utter it? Or we feel it? We feel it. Feel the depth of it. Feel that this freedom, liberation, whatever is the meaning, is completely overpowering me, completely soaking me, inside and outside, everything. Then become free. It's not that we just utter the sentences. There I say, that do you really need it? Do you really want it? Do you really wish that you should have this, at least to some extent? Then think like this. Then, evam krishnatmanatheshu manusyeshu chu sauhridam paricharyam chobhayatra mahatsu nishu sadhushu evam krishnatmanatheshu manusyeshu cha sauhridam paricharyam chobhayatra mahatsu nishu sadhushu evam Krishna atmanatheshu manishyeshu sauhridam cha. Thus, the devotee should have friendship, sauhridam, with holy men who look upon Krishna the Supreme as the soul and master of all. So, we must be associated with, make friends with such people who consider God as the soul of everybody and the master of everybody. God is everywhere, all pervading. He is the one. So He is the master. Those who live that knowledge and those who understand the God who is all pervading is also the soul of everybody. Such people who live that knowledge, be in their association so that you get to hear this again and again. Be in that association and become friendly to them so that they keep on talking to you this. In the world, we are always hearing family matters, office matters, political matters and all that. And give some time to hear this. Be in the association. And if physical association is not there, then read books. Now this YouTubes, so many lectures you can see over and over again. You can hear over and over again. So, time should be given to that. And then, paricharyam ubhayatra. Also, paricharyam means he should also serve. Serve whom? That is, help others. Whatever is necessary, do for others. That we saw that charity should be done. All those things. Dana should be done, etc. Paricharyam ubhayatra. Ubhayatra means everything. This ubhayatra means actually all moving and unmoving beings, mobile and immobile objects, living and non-living objects. Look after all that. So when we say serve others or give dana to others, we generally mean other people. Here it is saying mobile and immobile, living and non-living, everything. Everything you should look after. You know, when you become like this, even in a household, if you see a chair which has not been kept straight, you will feel for it. You will start feeling the chair is calling you to make it straight. Suppose a drawer is half open, you will feel the drawer is calling you to push it and make it closed fully. If you see some dirt anywhere, you will feel like cleaning that place. If you see a cloth crumpled, you will feel like straightening up and fold it properly. And this I am talking about only in the household, everywhere. If you see a plant whose leaves are drooping down, you would feel like going and seeing what has happened. Is it lack of water? Somebody has not watered it? or is there a worm below the root, or some white ant which is eating away? What has happened to it? So just like seeing a human being sick, you would like to do service to that human being, you would like to do service to the plants, service to any object. Leave aside human beings. And in human beings also, not only the near and dear ones, anybody and everybody who needs help, if you can, you should do. You should do. So, Ubhayatra. So it says, one should be in the association of holy men who consider God as the soul and master of all. He should serve all mobile, immobile, living, non-living objects. And especially in men, one should be in the association of noble people, Mahatsu, noble people, and Sadhu Shucha, that is, saints. So one should be in the association of noble people and saintly people so that you get all good and positive inputs from them. The mind slowly starts becoming lighter, lighter, lighter. Mind is able to leave petty matters. Mind is able to leave the possessiveness, able to leave the clingings. That is why it is said, Sadhu Sangha, Satsanga is so very necessary in human life. So make friends with devotees who consider God to be supreme. Mat karmakrit, mat paramaha. So we should make friends with such devotees who consider God as supreme. And remaining with them, what will happen? The color of God love in them. Those madbhaktaha, madparamaha, madbhaktaha. The devotees who consider God to be supreme, they are the bhaktaha. So, the color of God love in them will color our hearts also. With what? Love for God. Belonging to God. Understanding this truth. So, this is what we do. I thought 2 more slokas are left in this. I thought I'll be able to do. So now there will be a gap because along with Swamiji accompanying him, we'll be going to Malaysia, as you know, on 4th September and coming back on 24th September. So these live programs will not be there, though there will be programs. The Global Gita talks will be there. But so 2 more will be there with a gap of another 1 month nearly. Anyway, these things never become old, should not become old any time. Whatever we learn now, we find that in 1 week we forget. So it is always new and new. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam Tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam Tadeva shokarnava shoshanam nrinam Yaduttama shloka yasho nugiyate Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam Tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam Tadeva shokarnava shoshanam nrinam Yaduttama shloka yasho nugiyate Tadeva ramyam. It is very beautiful. Ramyam is beautiful. That is because these things are beautiful. Ramyam. Ruchiram, very tasty. Navam navam. Even tasty things, if you keep on eating the same food, even though it tastes very good, it will not give a newness. But this beautiful and tasty thing which the scriptures are giving us, navam navam, the beauty is always new and the taste is always new. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam. And it creates a mahotsava in the mind which is shashvata, which is always there, nitya, eternal. Eternal mahotsava it creates in the mind. Our utsavas and mahotsavas, they come and go seasonally. Every year they come, every year they go. Now today is Rakhi Bandhana. In Kerala actually it is not that much there. Today is the day of friendship. I think very good that I started. Evam Krishnatmanatheshu Manushyeshu cha Sauhridam. We must have Sauhridam to everybody. This sloka is things for good for this Rakhi day. Today is the Rakhi Bandhana day. So one Rakhi Bandhana will be over. Then we look forward to another. Maybe Ganesha Chaturthi is coming. Then after that, maybe Durga Puja will come, or Janmashtami will come before that, then Durga Puja will come, then Kali Puja will come, then Diwali will come. Like this, it goes on. All our Utsavas and Mahotsavas, and cyclically we'll be getting. One is over, another comes. This one, always new, always new, always new, and it is eternal. Shashvan Mahotsavan. It gives in the mind the Utsava feeling, the festivity feeling, never dies down. Always it is there, it is eternally there. It is not like that, oh, we look forward to one particular puja. Onam was just over. So people were looking forward to, not over, actually tomorrow it is going to get over. Onam is going on now. So before Onam came, everybody is looking forward to Onam. Then it goes away. Then you look forward to something else. This one is not like this. Always there. Manasaha Shashvat Mahotsavam. Then, and Tadeva Shokarnava Shoshanam Rinam. And this Utsava, it takes away the Shoka from the minds of people. Yad Uttama Shloka Yasho Nugiyate. When Uttama Shloka, Sri Hari, God, the Supreme God, his Yasha is sung. We talk about him, we talk about God, we talk about his excellences, we talk about when we understand this knowledge with our mind and intelligence, what change and transformation it can bring about in us. When we talk about that, the mind becomes absolutely free of all shoka, all grief, and is filled with a Mahotsava, which is eternal. Eternal. Okay. Sampurnam Jagadeva Nandanavanam Sarvepi Kalpadrumaha Gangam Vari Samasta Vari Nivaha Punya Samasta Kriyaha Vacha Prakrita Samskrita Shruti Shiro Varanasi Medini Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishti Parabrahmani Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishti Parabrahmani. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.